Many people's lives don't move forward due to a significant disease of the human condition, a spiritual disease. In this video, we will explore in detail how this can affect and even destroy your life. If you enjoy this type of content, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and like the video. First and foremost, it's important to highlight that this disease is known as extraphysical harassment, also called obsession, obsessors, spiritual attachment, and in some traditions, even demons. We are talking about consciousnesses, people like you and me, who have passed away but continue to influence and disturb human lives. These entities can interfere in our lives in various ways, but for this to happen, you need to play an active or passive role, allowing these influences. If you have ever suffered or feel that you are suffering from influences from other dimensions or deceased beings, stay with us until the end of this video. Here, you will find valuable information that can boost your life or, at the very least, help you defend yourself more effectively and make your life less likely to go wrong. The first crucial point is mental submission. A person who has a submissive stance, practically a mental or ideological slave, ends up disrupting everything in their existence. If someone always bows down and blindly obeys another, even if it is negative, it opens the door to self-harassment. But what is self-harassment? No extraphysical being can affect you if you do not allow it. It is no use blaming extraphysical beings for some failure in your life because their influence only occurs if you allow it, due to some level of self-corruption, self-sabotage, or self-deception. For example, imagine a person who constantly gives in to external pressures, whether at work or at home, and never stands up for their own opinions or desires. This not only weakens their self-confidence, but also creates a vulnerability that harassers can exploit. They feed off this weakness, amplifying feelings of inadequacy and doubt, making the person even more submissive and easily manipulated. Another point that facilitates the interference of these harassers is the repetition of negative phrases, almost like a process of self-hypnosis. If you constantly say, "I'm stupid," "I'm weak," "I'm a failure," you open a huge fissure for these beings to affect you. Often when you are having a good day, feeling positive, these harassers appear and telepathically throw negative thoughts at you. By accepting and repeating these negative thoughts, you end up self-sabotaging. This self-sabotage can manifest in various ways. Think about those occasions when you are about to try something new and exciting, like starting a creative project or changing careers. Suddenly, an intrusive thought arises. Do you really think you can do this? You will fail. This type of self-talk not only drains your motivation, but also creates a vicious cycle where every attempt to move forward is blocked by a mental barrier that you help direct. Moreover, the lack of trust in spirit guides also contributes to failure. Spirit guides, or beings of light, mentors, spiritual guides, guardian angels, whatever you want to call them, are entities that can intercede for you at certain times. However, don't expect them to do all the work for you. You are responsible for your thoughts, attitudes, and mindset. Spirit guides help when you are doing your part, when you take responsibility for your actions. For example, if you are facing financial difficulties and expect that only prayers or requests for help to your guides will solve everything, you are neglecting your part in the process. It is essential to seek practical solutions, such as financial planning, cutting unnecessary expenses, and looking for extra income opportunities. Guides can guide and inspire, but the action must come from you. Letting negative emotions flow uncontrollably is another major issue. People who react explosively to any minor provocation or difficulty, who are emotionally unstable, become easy prey for harassers. Whether it's anger or depression, this emotional instability opens the door for these beings to further disturb your life. And in the case of depression, which is an illness, it is your responsibility to seek professional help. But the fact is that emotional instability greatly opens the door for extraphysical harassers. A clear example of this is someone who, when faced with criticism at work, explodes in anger or falls into deep sadness. This disproportionate reaction not only affects the surrounding environment, but also fuels the negative energy that harassers seek. They can amplify these emotions, making small situations seem like disasters, creating a cycle of negativity and self-sabotage that is hard to break. The fear of ridicule is another very common form of self-sabotage. Many people are afraid of being labeled as crazy or ridiculous, and this fear paralyzes them, preventing them from taking positive and productive actions. This fear is one of the biggest saboteurs of existence, and many extraphysical harassers use this to prevent people from moving forward. For example, someone with an innovative idea for a project at work may hesitate to present it for fear of being ridiculed by colleagues. This fear of others' judgment prevents many people from realizing their full potential and contributes to a cycle of self-limitation. Harassers know this and use these fears to keep the person trapped in a comfort zone that is actually a prison. The guilt-victimization dichotomy is another critical point. Feeling guilty for past mistakes and constantly victimizing oneself only makes the situation worse. Harassers love to exploit these weaknesses, reminding the person of their mistakes and feeding self-blame. It is necessary to learn to forgive yourself and others and avoid the victim mentality. For example, someone who made a significant mistake in the past, such as a relationship failure or a bad financial decision, may carry this guilt for years. Harassers take advantage of this weakness, constantly reminding the person of their failures, preventing any form of personal and professional growth. Instead of learning from the mistake and moving on, the person becomes a prisoner of the past. Another important point is perseverance in the face of difficulties. Giving up at the first obstacle is a big mistake. If you succumb to every difficulty, a harasser only needs to place small obstacles in your path for you to give up on your goals. It is necessary to have clarity of your goals and perseverance not to give up easily. For example, imagine someone who wants to learn a new language. At the first difficulties, such as the complexity of grammar or lack of time to study, the person gives up. Harassers can amplify these feelings of frustration, making the task even more difficult. However, with perseverance and clear focus, it is possible to overcome these difficulties and achieve your goals. Intoxications of various forms, such as alcohol, drugs, or even excessive medications, are also a big problem. Anything that affects your lucidity is an opportunity for harassers to take control and negatively influence your actions. For example, a person who uses alcohol to cope with stress loses their mental clarity and ability to make sensible decisions. This state of vulnerability is fertile ground for harassers, who can intensify feelings of hopelessness and depression, leading to a cycle of substance abuse that is difficult to break. Finally, fear or anger towards harassers solves nothing. On the contrary, these feelings only increase the connection with these beings. It is necessary to learn to stay calm and emotionally disconnect from them. For example, instead of feeling anger towards a harasser for disrupting your life, you can work to understand the origin of this harassment. It may be a karmic lesson or an opportunity to grow emotionally and spiritually. By changing your perspective, you reduce the power these beings have over you. To conclude, an effective solution against these harassers is learning to master your energies. We have an energetic body that can be used to detoxify and defend ourselves energetically. A powerful technique is the vibrational state, which helps shield against negative influences. Applying this technique can make a big difference, helping you stay balanced and protected. For example, when you feel the presence of negative energy in an environment, you can apply the vibrational state technique to balance your energies and protect yourself. This regular practice not only strengthens your energetic defense, but also increases your sensitivity to perceive when something is off, allowing for a quick and effective response. In summary, facing and overcoming the influences of extraphysical harassers requires a firm mental stance, self-knowledge, and mastery of your own energies. By doing so, you can transform your life and avoid falling into the traps of these entities. Which of these points do you still practice in your life? What is missing for you to change the game and evolve? Leave your comment, like, and share this video with others. I'll stop here, wishing you a strong embrace and the best energies. See you next time.